There is an old saying, one attack is an attack too many. And all it takes is one little crack, one little lapse for a terror attack to happen. When we report terror attacks at this time, and we know that millions of viewers are tuning into NDTV, as a responsible network, I want to say the incredible number of terror attacks that are foiled, that are, where plans are foiled at the planning level, at the execution level, at the cross-border level. There are hundreds of such cases that get foiled, but only the ones that succeed necessarily get reported, because those are the ones that obviously come into the public domain where damage of this kind has happened. But Aditya, you've looked at that very closely. We've all actually looked at it very closely. And in this particular case, what Vishnu says is absolutely right. The busting of that module was actually an incredible success, and it was panic that triggered what happened in Delhi. It may have been much larger. If they'd had access to more materials, it may have even been a serial blast, God forbid. But this was clearly the symptom of what was a larger anti-terror success between Haryana, UP and J&K.
Well, absolutely. Very well said, Shiv. It's a massive success for the J&K police, really. 26 days ago, when the initial input came with the J&K police, immediately they sent in their teams to Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and New Delhi. They were trying to trace down this entire Jaish-e-Mohammed module. Now, remember, there are 20 timers, 2,900 kgs of explosives and other ammunition that has been recovered in Haryana. If that had led to the national capital, if there were 20 different areas where the attacks had taken place, if there were sensitive locations that were targeted, this could have resulted in a massive, paralysis of the government in here if there were massive casualties all across. Where we are standing right now, where the blast took place yesterday, is just a few kilometers away, just about 10 to 15 minutes away from the exact national capital where the Parliament of India is, where the Prime Minister's residence and the Prime Minister's office is, where the North Block and the South Block is, where the seat of the Modi government really is, and that could have been a target as well. But nonetheless, as it is said, that the terrorists have been, lucky this time. They have been lucky in the past as well. But here, the J&K police, in coordination with other agencies, have worked relentlessly. They are working even now to piece it together, the entire detail of this, entire modus operandi. And we will be keeping our viewers abreast with factual reporting, whatever we hear. As of now, within minutes, the Home Minister is chairing a high-level meeting with IB Director Tapan Deka and others, including the Home Secretary and the Delhi Police Commissioner. And there, some crucial details will be discussed as per what the next steps would be, where the investigation and perhaps raids are concerned in this case.
These fresh images that you're getting are from the Red Fort area within the perimeter of that place which was worst affected by the blast. And look at the remnants of the vehicles that are being picked up, entire chassis of a car. And if I can take you back to that moment when that first blast video came out, you saw a huge ball of flames erupt into the sky, a massive blast. People who were on camera, who were talking to each other, it was a massive shock that you could see on their faces. And now the remnants of the vehicles from the spot bear testimony to the impact of that blast. I want to show pictures now of the recoveries. We've been talking here about just how big a conspiracy this could have been. Yes, this terror attack also demands accountability, but think of what could have been. Over the last 1 month, several reports emerged of how operatives were picked up from one part of the country or another. Usually, Shiv, these reports are treated with cynicism. Yesterday, when that press conference took place, some politicians said, just in time for the second phase of polling to take place. This is small-minded critique. This is far, far bigger. Look at the arms that were recovered, and this is just the kind of recovery that we saw in Faridabad. 2,900 kgs of explosives, we've spoken at length about that, but the small arms, you had one Chinese star pistol, one Beretta pistol with ammunition, one AK-56 and one AK Krinkov rifle. If you could talk us through some of these weapons, and how do these 2-3 doctors, a medical student, How do they get access to weapons like these?
You know, the point you made earlier in the broadcast is actually precisely what we're looking at here, Padmaja, that this was more than just, a conspiracy to wreak terror. This was obviously a composite conspiracy which may have involved some kind of a mass shooting in a crowded area, because, why else would someone need an assault rifle like the Krinkov, so much ammunition, all those magazines, close combat star pistols, in a place like Faridabad?
Yeah.
Where else are you going to go with something like that, if not Delhi NCR? So an educated guess looking at these pictures and everything we know from yesterday's suicide attack is that this was going to be composite, probably some kind of a serial attack, possibly a staggered attack aimed at Delhi NCR. Like Aditya was reporting, the car itself that exploded yesterday outside the Lal Killa may have been headed, God forbid, to just a couple of kilometers away into the VIP zone where you've got Parliament, you've got our ministries, the Prime Minister's office, all of those in the central part of the city. If a blast had taken place there, the security implications would have been exponentially higher. Not to say that this isn't serious, but these arms recoveries that we're looking at here in these pictures suggest that this was a multi-layered conspiracy and not just about a vehicular bomb. That appears to have been some kind of an afterthought, possibly a panic reaction. We don't know for sure yet, but this was a module that clearly had tentacles going in different directions.
And this is as far as the recoveries from Faridabad are concerned. We should also focus on what happened in Gujarat. We've spoken about the 35-year-old Dr. Ahmad Mohiuddin Saeed. He was arrested from Hyderabad. What was recovered from him? Of course, he had castor oil. He was trying to develop ricin. But in addition to that, there was also 30 live cartridges, 2 Glock pistols and a Beretta that was found on him. 2 more men were subsequently arrested for being his accomplices, a 20-year-old tailor from Shamli, Azad Suleiman Sheikh, and a 23-year-old student from Lakhimpur Kheri, Mohammad Suhail. This is how far this network had spread out. What was a doctor who was based in Hyderabad, was found in Ahmedabad, doing with a Beretta and a Glock pistol? What was a young medical student doing with a Chinese star pistol, several magazines and explosives in Faridabad? And most importantly, Aditya, how did these men gain access? And not just men, a young lady doctor also in Faridabad was caught with a rifle and ammunition and explosives in her car. This is the gravity of the situation which we must not lose sight of. This is not just about the blast that took place at the Red Fort. It is about a much, much bigger conspiracy that had been hatched, and it spread across states. Not just explosives, not just fuel oil, but weapons, large and small, also recovered. Aditya.
Well, definitely. This is as complex, as intense and stunning, really. The new details that are being revealed on this entire nexus from Kashmir to Saharanpur in UP to Faridabad in Haryana, then of course to Gujarat and New Delhi as well. The tentacles of the Jaish-e-Mohammed module have been far and wide. They've been silently working, and that's the change in strategy really. Earlier, Jaish-e-Mohammed used to recruit terrorists, used to recruit people in Kashmir, and then openly claim that. There used to be photographs that used to go viral. But over the last few years, the strategy has completely changed. Ever since the Pulwama attack as well, there are attacks that take place, but nobody claims it. There is no notification or a statement that comes in from the Jaish-e-Mohammed. There are threats that come. And say that we will seek revenge. But there are no statements of new recruits that are joining in. So they are silently working. They are working in tandem with Maulvis, radicalized Maulvis, to radicalize further people in the society. And that's what has happened over the years in Kashmir. They have developed sleeper cells from Kashmir to different states of India, particularly in the northern part of the country. And that's what is a huge concern for the security agencies as well, that while there was hybrid terrorism that used to be there in the Kashmir Valley, now is a different kind of terrorism altogether, where educated people, in this particular case, at least 4 to 5 doctors who have come to light, most of them who have been arrested. There's one who is on the run as well, but currently, I'm being told that the investigation, it is at a very crucial stage. At 11 a.m., I'm being told, not at 9:30, but at 11 a.m., the Home Minister will be chairing a meeting with, of course, the NIA DG and, of course, Director of the IB, the Delhi Police Commissioner, the Home Secretary, and other senior officials, where this would be discussed threadbare, and the NIA would be given the task to lead the investigation and finally culminate this entire investigation and try to see where all the other perpetrators of of this entire module are hiding right now.
Very